Okay, so I've been floating around an idea for a little while, and some of this has the end product of fox hunting, and it's not always finding the signal. I mean, you could technically use another radio for fox hunting, and I've always used one of these because, well, that's not a good example, but turn it on and you can tune the frequency of the fox, and it also has a signal strength meter on it. A lot of the newer radios either don't have an S meter or it's so tiny that you can't see it. Now I've got a field strength meter, and I've added a couple of antennas, one for field strength and one for actual RF reception, to pipe into the frequency counter right there. And it's going to have both, one for the field strength and one for the frequency counter. Oh, it's light, and you can get both. Put the radio in the right place, and it's only a few inches away, but it displays both the frequency and the field strength. That should be FRS channel number 8 or 12. I don't remember how it's set up. It's only a 2-channel radio. It's half a watt. As you can tell, as you move a little bit, it does do field strength. Doesn't matter if it's GMRS, FRS, 70 centimeters, or 2 meters. It's all the same concept. K4 ARS, 1 watt. 1 watt field strength test. Field strength test. K4 ARS. That was on 2 meters, so it all works. You can adjust the antenna length on both. They are set for, realistically, that one is set on the left for VHF, and it can be shortened, and it works better if you shorten it for 70 centimeters in GMRS. And that's a low band antenna. That's originally a backup set for CB radio. And yes, that's for listening only. And that's all I'm doing with that here, is just listening only to the signals that I'm receiving. So in theory, that would work even better with a vertically polarized beam. And again, you can do the same thing with just a single radio, but I just thought it'd be kind of a neat thing to do. I've got another one here, another field strength SWR meter that is vertically orientation, and it doesn't sit like that, but it's set up so that you can, instead of looking at it, that meter that way, set up on the desk as it should be, you would take the other one and hold it vertically so you can read it and make your adjustments, and connect it in the same way. You would put the field strength meter between the frequency counter and the beam, and you can put one more antenna on top right there the same way, and that vertical antenna would be the same orientation as your vertical beam, all on the same shaft, and it would be, in the least, an interesting way to enhance your fox hunting what do you call that, contest, excursion. Anyways, that's just something I thought I would play with, and it actually works. I'm kind of surprised. You don't normally use a field strength meter for that. Normally what I would have it for is if I find some commercial radio at a Hamfest or tailgate, and a lot of the older equipment, they don't have displays other than channel numbers. There's no alphanumerics 30 and 40 years ago. It's just channel numbers. And without having to pull the EPROM and stick it into some kind of a jump box or connect it to a computer right away just to figure out what's on there or what band or what service it was in, all you need is a frequency counter and a dummy load with the proper adapters. Plug it up and turn it on. That way you're not transmitting somewhere out there in the ether on somebody's frequencies that you shouldn't be transmitting on anyways. At least you could key it up and look and see where it is in frequency on the counter and figure out what service it used to be in, what frequencies they're on, and I guess that's really about it. You know where it does transmit in frequency, at least, and you can do all that before you go into the investment of EPROMs and software and all that good stuff. You see where it is. It may already be set up where you want it. It may be already set up in GMRS if you want it. The owner may say, I don't know where it's set up for. It's supposed to be set up for 2 meters, but I really don't know. Here, have it for cheap. I know guys that have done that, and they've done very well. They've had to go back and reprogram it sometimes, but it's a fun way to figure that stuff out, and that's part of what I'm doing here. It's just fun playing with some of these meters and gauges and stuff, and testing things out, figuring out whether or not you're on frequency or how far off frequency it actually is. It seems to work with just about every kind of transmitter, from half a watt to 1 watt, 10 watts. It seems to do a pretty good job. So as far as experimentations go, and field strength, frequency counting, it's a pretty good little setup, I think, and it could be improved. Bigger outside antennas and what have you, beams and whatnot, might prove pretty good for fox hunting. I don't know. It'd be fun to find out.